Hi everybody, this is Mike again and welcome to the third video in the 4-video series, and welcome to the North Cornwall coast. This is where I'm going in a couple of days and I'm very much looking forward to it. It's a little bit more interesting than my normal backdrop of a plain white background in my sort of little bunker that I call it in my house in Surrey. So anyway, just to give you a nice view while I'm talking. Today we're going to talk about the extremely important subject of productivity. I called it the Productivity Conundrum because it's a major challenge in an awful lot of businesses. And so what I'm going to do, let me quickly share my screen, and then we'll just talk you through some of the things that I think as a leadership team we really must get our heads around. So let me just explain briefly what we're just going to cover in this video, and then we'll take it from there if the slide deck will work for me. There we go. Okay, so what we'll learn in this video, we'll learn 3 key things. One is that why productivity is the biggest challenge of most modern workplaces, why people have lost the art of focus and why focus is so important when it comes to productivity, and also inability to manage distractions. And so it's only going to be a short video. I can't possibly answer all those questions, but I'm just going to want to get your mind thinking in this particular area because it's huge. It's huge. If we can shift and improve this area by just maybe a few percentage points, 5, maybe 10%, the impact that it will have on the business is going to be enormous. So why don't I just share with you some scary facts. Scary facts that have come from the Harvard Business Review. This is a study that's been done by a number of different universities in the US over the last 10 years. And this is what has come. Scary stuff, but over 50% of us like to respond to emails immediately. And if you say to me, oh, that's fine, Mike, I do that, and what's wrong with that? Then we have a problem. Because if you can imagine, emails are things that you are reacting to. And ultimately, our jobs are to do specific things, whether they be for clients or whether they be for our internal clients. But ultimately, if we're responding to everyone all the time, it gives us it's hard time for us to actually get on and do the things that we need to do. So, but this is a massive problem. Email is becoming one of the biggest distractions in work, and how we manage that is going to be massively important. Digital distractions reduce our IQ by 10 points. Blimey, when I first heard that, and the more scary thing is, it was found out to be more, it would reduce our IQ more than marijuana, and smoking marijuana does. So that's major. What is a digital distraction? Well, anything that is generally computer and or smartphone based. Emails, social media, you name it, etc. And that shifts on to the fact that there's been an enormous increase in digital addiction. And that is actually a thing, guys. We are, I know our iPhones and often our smartphones tell us how much screen time we've had, but I look at that sometimes and I'm quite scared by sometimes the amount of time I spend on my phone, particularly. I think we're all guilty of that. And so it's a really massive issue, and particularly in the young who've lived on their phones really from the time they've been at school. So there's a major issue, and it's something that we as leaders must help and support our people with. So what can we do about it? Like I say, this is only going to be a short video, but I just want you to get your minds in the right mindset for this. And then obviously when we go through the feedback, we can start talking about this too as well. So there are 4 key things really that we need to provide our people with. 4 key skills that will help them, to become more productive and also to manage some of the things that we've just looked at there. What are they? The first thing is to help them to be much clearer as to their goals and outcomes. So what are the key goals that they must be working on, and what are the key outcomes and timelines? So in other words, we need to help them with their priorities, and we need to help them develop the skill set of understanding what their most important tasks and priorities are. So often we are busy fools. We seem to be busy. We seem to be rushing around like a crazy thing, and yet we're not necessarily delivering and doing the things that we need to do. So that's the key. One of the key skill sets that we need to help our people with is this, which is becoming really clear of their outcomes and priorities. The next thing, which seems to be a lost art in the modern workplace, is the importance of planning and planning time. I'll let you into a secret. This is something which I have observed of myself, which has been poor. And so what I did about 3 weeks ago is I put myself onto a very, very, dare I say, expensive course, an 8-week course, which is all around how to improve productivity. And in the first week of that course, they call it a boot camp. It's a productivity boot camp run by a very well-known American guru in this area. He basically helped with a complete revamp of planning skills, to the point where my week now is planned for every half an hour. Now that might seem absolutely scary, but wow, has it improved my productivity beyond measure. I now feel as though I'm almost twice as productive, because I am very, very thorough in the way in which I prepare for my week and my day. So planning skills is a skill set which I think a lot of us have lost, and we must recover it and re-get it, as it were. Terrible word, it doesn't exist. Okay, next one is support. That we must support our guys to stay focused and manage their distractions. Distractions are coming at us from every angle, whether they be on our smartphone, whether they be from our customers. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that we ignore our customers, but we need to manage our distractions and do it at an appropriate time, set the right expectations, etc. Switch our mobile phones off at the appropriate time, switch our inboxes off at the right times. How do we just manage the process so we can stay focused and reward ourselves when we've been that way? And the last one is it's kind of it's really sort of the culmination of all of these things, which is encouraging consistency within our team. It's consistent execution. It's not just you do it, our guys do things well every once in a while. No. This is all about delivering and developing, I should say, some real consistency with our team. And these are the things which we must help our people with. It's massively challenging for everybody. Everybody out there finds all of these things challenging, I should say. So we need to help. And so what I'm going to ask you quickly is, why don't you score yourself, just like you did in the last video? Why don't you score yourself in those 4 areas on a 1 to 5 scale? 5 being I'm utterly brilliant and therefore struggle to improve in this area. 4 is strong. 3 is kind of in the middle. It's not a strength of yours, not a weakness. 2 is it's a weaker area for you, and 1 is definitely need to improve quite quickly in this area. So that's a 1 to 5. Why don't you quickly even pause the video and score yourself and see where you've come up with? And so I'd be interested for you guys when we come through to when we do the feedback, where did you score, both in the last video and this one? Because these may well be areas for you to work on too. I would expect so and hope so. So how can you ask yourself, how can you improve in this area too? So that's primarily the video. What we're going to learn in the next video is how can we help our teams? What are some things that we can do that we can really help our guys to improve? I'm going to share we need a framework which we recommend our clients to use, and which I hope will help you too. But I won't be able to share it all with you, but I'll certainly give you a sense of what you can do. And so we'll leave that there. I hope you found that useful. Hopefully it gets your mind into the right place. So when we do our feedback session next week or the week after, whenever we schedule it, we'll talk about this some more, because it's going to be a really important thing to help you bounce back or help the business bounce back. So thanks for your time. Look forward to catching up with you in a couple of days' time, and then obviously when we do the feedback. Okay.